Well, in the video I published yesterday, I made a bit of a crack at the beginning about the image on the box. I probably should have saved that joke for this one because it's almost bordering on pornography at this point. It's a little bit much. I'm not sure whether I should be offended or grateful by it. But anyway, in this video, I'm looking at the Moondrop Alice TWS earphones. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews, and yes, so that's the box. I won't talk any more about that for the moment. Look, there is the graph, and you can see from the graph it's pretty much your typical Moondrop VDSF type frequency curve. The price of this one, well, there's the case, first of all. And there are the earbuds. We'll have a closer look at them in a minute. But the price is $189. These do have aptX, no aptX HD or LL or adaptive, but aptX is a pretty good starting point. AAC, of course, and SBC. Inside, it's got a 10mm dynamic driver. Now, all right, so first of all, the case, big and chunky, just like the Sparks case. Sharp edges, not, well, I guess it's pocketable, but that will depend on how large your pockets are. The earbuds themselves, or the earphones, they're, well, that's them, and they're not the most comfortable. Well, they're pretty comfortable. I will say they're not the most secure earphones. They don't feel all that secure in my ear. I have to kind of readjust them fairly frequently. But one thing I do love about them, or the case in particular, is the case fits my third-party extra-large ear tips just fine. So that's pretty cool. So when I learned that, I was pretty excited to start off with. Then the troubles began. But before I talk about the bad points, let's talk about the good points. I'll just take these out again. So the good points are the battery life is pretty good. You're looking at like 7 hours, I think, from memory. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, actually about 8 hours. Probably a bit less if you're using aptX and high volume. So pretty good battery life, 7 to 8 hours. And the other good thing about these is the sound, and these actually sound really nice. Like I said, pretty standard Moondrop tuning or frequency curve, that VDSF or virtual diffuse sound field target, which means it's got a fairly lean bass with an slightly elevated sub bass, lean throughout the mid-range and upper mid-range peak or pin again as people like to call it, and a fairly relaxed and slightly rolled off treble. But I tell you what, they've done it really well here. The sound of these reminds me somewhat of the Moondrop Kato, which is a similar, it's like a $200 or $189 IM. It could be said that it sounds a bit like the Aria, in particular the Aria Snow Edition, I would say. So yeah, the sound is very good. Lovely, clean, tidy bass, but it does have some good impact. It's got a bit of sub-bass rumble there. Beautiful, clear mid-range, good instrument separation, good resolution and clarity, and a nice, crisp treble that's fairly detailed. The detail retrieval is pretty good, especially for a TWS set, especially if you are using aptX as well. Non-fatiguing treble, but nice and lively and crisp. So the sound is great, and these do work with the Moondrop Link, which is their phone app, and it should be a very useful little app. It kind of is. It could be a lot better, but in the app, you can update the firmware, and you can select from a number of preset EQ options. Now, the standard one, or the Moondrop target, I found that to be pretty boring. Actually, it's really boring, for me anyway. It is impressive. It's like very spacious, super clean, very detailed, and all those nerdy audiophile things that people love, but the bass is just, yeah, you know the story. It's been scooped out pretty hard. However, I did find the Hokkaido preset EQ sounds really nice for me. That was my preferred sound, and with that one, you get a nice bit of a little lift in the mid bass, and you still got that sub bass rumble as well, and that fills out the sound. It just, for me, it makes music much more enjoyable and engaging. So yeah, these sound fantastic. Really, really good. Now, for the bad parts, and there's not all that many bad parts, I suppose, when you break it down. First of all, like I said, they're not the most secure fitting earbuds. They're kind of chunky. They are big. However, they are comfortable. My main gripe is with the connectivity, because every single time that I take these out of the case, I get this, the more I think about it, the more annoying things there are about these, really. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you take them out, or as soon as you even open the case, you'll hear a little anime or little waifu voice saying, connected. I would rather just have someone saying connected, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just, not fun enough. But anyway, you get the little connected, and then, about 5 seconds later, disconnected every single time. So I take them out of the case. It immediately connects to my phone, my iPhone in this case, and then 5 seconds later, it automatically disconnects. I have to go into the settings and repair them. Unless, there is one caveat, and unless I have audio or music playing already when I take them out of the case, and when that happens, for some reason, they don't disconnect. But that is hugely frustrating for me, and for that reason alone, I would be tempted to pick up just about any other TWS earphones I have instead of these, because that just annoys me. I want to take them out of the case, put them in my ears, and play music. I don't want to go through connecting each time. It drives me mad. And by the way, I have updated the firmware twice, so I'm pretty sure that's not fixed. I didn't check the firmware today, whether there's another version, but I've already updated the firmware twice, and the problem persists. And the other thing that gets me going about these is the lack of features. Now, some people might not care, but I think for $189, $190, they could give us something. But there's no ANC, no in-ear detection. The app support is, the app functionality is pretty limited. I just want more. I want more. If that connectivity issue were fixed, I would be a lot more positive about these. Now, I don't have an Android phone, so maybe it doesn't happen with those. I don't know. All I know is my experience, and it hasn't been a walk in the park. But I'll say again, these do sound absolutely wonderful. Like, Moondrop has nailed the sound signature on these, in my opinion. I think they're probably the best sounding earbuds I've heard in under $200. The Tangent Echo sounds great, but it only has one sound signature or one tuning, unlike these. So if you don't like the Tangent Echo's default tuning, then you're kind of stuck with it. Then there's the Final ZX300, and they sound wonderful as well. A bit more expensive. They're like over $200, but once again, they've only got that single sound profile. And both the Echo and the Final ZX300 also have 0 extra features. So while we are getting some great sounding earbuds, they're still falling behind the competition when it comes to feature set. And in the case of Moondrop Alice here, it's just an unpleasant experience for me. When the music is going, I can enjoy the hell out of these. I keep saying it, but they sound so good. But apart from that, yeah, I think for the price, it's just asking a bit too much. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. If you like the video, give it the old thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. Consider subscribing to the channel, because I've got stuff like this coming all the time, 2 or 3 videos most weeks, and there's lots of good stuff on the way that you don't want to miss out on. Check the description down below. I've got my affiliate links and links to my social media channels, etc. And until next time, I'll see you later.